Hello, I'm Ramin Senanayakar. In this video, we are going to discuss the we are going to discuss question set 23. In the previous video, we discussed question set 22, discussing about the inner join queries. And in this video, we're going to discuss how to find data using subqueries. So let's get started. On to the first question. What is the lowest mark obtained for singular subjects in the first term? So I'm going to obtain it using a subquery. So let's open up IDSQL first. So starting with select. Mark min mark. So we are getting the mark from the student exam mark record table, where um, the subject ID. So here I'm gonna obtain the subject ID for the singular subject using a subquery. So to do that, we have to write the student exam mark record table dot student ID in, and then we write the subquery select. So subject ID from subject table uh, has to be equal to the subject name singular. So I'm gonna describe the subquery again here. So here it means the subject ID in the student exam mark record has to be the subject ID from the subject table, where the subject name is singular language and literature. And let's write the second condition, where here it states that the term is first term. So to obtain it, I'm going to use exam term ID in student exam mark record table and it has to be the same as the term ID in the exam term table. The term name is first term, and there you go. That's how you get the minimum mark using only subqueries. So I'm going to describe it once again. So here we are gaining the minimum mark from the student exam mark record table, where the subject is singular and the term is first term. So to obtain the language, I have used the subject ID in the student exam mark record table, which equals to the subject ID from the subject table of the language of the subject name single language and literature. And to obtain the term name, I have used the exam term ID in the student exam mark record table, which equals to the term ID in the exam term table of the term first term. So let's go ahead and execute it, and there you go. The minimum mark came out as 75. And on to the second question. Find all the details of the student who got the lowest mark in the first term singular subject. So here this all comes. So in the previous question, the first question, we got the minimum mark for the single subject in the first term. Now in the second question, it states that we have to find the student who got the lowest mark for the single subject in the first term. So here let's copy this whole query, because it gains the minimum mark for the single subject in the first term. And let's gain all of the details of the student who got the lowest mark for the subject singular in the first term. So we have to obtain, so we are obtaining all of the information using the asterisk from student, where student dot index number in, so here I'm getting the index number from the student exam mark record table. Where mark in, and here we are writing a subquery in a subquery. So between these two brackets comes the query we previously copied, and there you go. That's how you obtain the details of the student who got the lowest mark in the first term of single subject using only subqueries. So I'm gonna describe it once again. So the query stated here the query stated here gets the minimum mark for the single subject in the first term, and this subquery highlighted here obtain the student index number from the student exam mark record table, where the mark is equal to the minimum mark obtained for the single subject in the first term. And the whole query searches for the student index number in the student exam mark record table, where the from the whole query we find the student index number from the whole query we get here this index number is gained from the this subquery highlighted here. This subquery right here gain the index number of the student who obtained the lowest mark for the single subject in the first term, and from the whole query we get all of the details of the student who obtained the lowest marks for the single subject in the first term. So let's go ahead and execute it. And there you go. These are the details of the students who got the lowest mark for the single subject in the first term. So let's go to the third question. What is the lowest mark obtained in the second term science subject? So it's the same as the first question. On the only thing that changes are the term name and the subject name for science. So here uh, So the query here is so the query here is the answer for the first question, and let's change the necessary things to obtain the answer for the third question. So here the subject name changes to science, and the term changes to second term. And there you go. This is the query to obtain the lowest mark for the science subject in the second term. Let's go ahead and execute it. And there you go. The lowest mark for science subject in the second term came out as 45.52. And on to the fourth question. What is the minimum mark obtained for the subject of mathematics in the term examination held on 10th of 10th of July 2020? So it's basically the same as the third and the first question. The only things that changes here is the subject name, and the term name changes to the date, and here comes the date stated here. So let's do those changes. And subject name is mathematics, and the term name changes to exam date, and the date is 10th of July 2020. And there you go. This is the query for the and there you go. This is the query to obtain the minimum mark obtained for the subject of mathematics in the term examination held on the 10th of July 2020. Let's go ahead and execute it. And there you go. The minimum mark for the subject of mathematics in the examination held on the 10th of July 2020 came out as 44.12. And on to the fifth and last question. Find all of the details who obtained the minimum mark obtained for the subject mathematics in the term examination held on 10th of July 2020. So it's the same as the it's the same as the second question. So this whole query comes into a sub query. So let's go ahead and copy it, and let's write the query to gain all of the details of the student from student where student dot index number. So here we are gonna find the index number from the student table using subqueries. So we are gaining the necessary index number from the student exam mark record table, where the mark has to be the mark which we got in the previous question. So mark in, so here we also write a subquery which we copied in the previous in the previous question, and let's go ahead and paste it here, and there you go. Let me describe it once again. From this subquery we gain the minimum mark obtained for this subject of mathematics in the term examination held on 10th of July 2020. And from this subquery highlighted here, we gain the student index number in the student exam mark record table of who obtained the minimum mark for the subject mathematics in the term examination held on 10th of July 2020. And from the whole query we obtain all of the details of students who obtained the lowest mark for the subject of mathematics in the term examination held on 10th of July 2020. Let's go ahead and execute it, and there you go. The result came out as Sandun Wijeratne. So Sandun Wijeratne obtained the minimum mark for the subject of mathematics in the examination held on the 10th of July 2020. And that brings the end for this video of discussing the question set 23, and let's meet again in the next video when we are discussing the question set 24. Thank you for watching.